I first really knew that poetry was in my bones when I started to process a really difficult journey through parenthood by writing out all of the fears and worries onto the page, and I found that a really helpful process. I think I was probably writing for about 15 years and keeping them in my little book by the bedside cabinet, and little by little I began to feel that I wanted to really embrace that journey, but I was quite shy about it. Maybe I think I lacked the confidence to really embrace it fully, and step by step along the way that became something that I felt was possible. I went along with some friends of mine to Dublin to a spoken word gig in Bewley's Cafe, and it just blew my mind. There was a whole world out there that I knew nothing about, and inside I think the writer was shouting to get out. And about a few days after that I realised that something had clicked in that room with me. A sort of a freedom inside to begin to explore writing truthfully and honestly with no boundaries, to tell the real story that I needed to tell. And a few months after that I found myself standing on a stage in Dublin sharing a very important poem about mental health. I remember shaking from head to foot, absolutely. Didn't know how to work a mic, all of that, but the warmth and love in the room was amazing, and that opened up another little something inside, and it gave me that passion to want to continue that journey. And the people coming up with messages and love about how important that poem was really spurred me on to write more. One of the most significant things along that journey was joining Fermanagh Writers, and I remember going along in the early days, and I sat for 6 weeks. I made a promise to myself that I would go consecutively so that I would get the feel for the group, but I sat for 6 weeks and never spoke, just learning how it rolls and what they do. And after that I just got up one night and shared my first poem, and I remember being so nervous, but the like-mindedness and the support was huge, and that has really helped me on my journey. A poet friend of mine took me to one side and said very nicely to me, "You have a story to tell. You have a duty to tell that story for all the others who have had similar life experiences to you, and they're maybe not able to tell it." And that made me think a little bit more about the process, and that freed me up a little bit more, and little by little I found myself on stage sharing words, and very recently became the Fermanagh Slam champion in poetry, and that led me into the Ulster Slam, and that was amazing for me. This is a new part of the journey for me, and it feels like quite a strange experience, because somewhere it feels like it's happening to somebody else and not really me, but all the time I'm feeling that I'm pulled forward. It feels absolutely brilliant to be at this stage a couple of years on, and my hope would be to have a poetry book out in the very near future. I have absolute bundles of work that I need to wade through, and I think that will be the really important part of the journey after this. For anyone out there wishing to do something that I have done, I would just say you only get one life. Now is the time. Just do it.